I'm beginning to realize that there are many ways to make money other than working a 9-to-5 job. And one of the most fun and easy ways that I found so far to do this is by just buying an everyday item that's on sale and then marking it up and turning around and selling it through an online store. I've been doing this now for about 10 months and I've sold almost $30,000 worth of merchandise without even really trying. And since I've been doing this, the most common question that I hear from other sellers is, what are the best products to sell? So that's exactly what I'm going to cover today by going over the top 5 brands that you can sell online to make some pretty serious income. Now, to set you up for success as we get into this list, I'm sure that you're wondering, if you were to sell something online, where should you sell it? And just know that there are many sites that you can use to host your store and begin selling online. But one of the things that you want to consider is what's going to give you the best opportunity for your store to be seen by as many people as possible, for you to make consistent sales and consistent income. So for that reason alone, the main online selling platform that I use is Amazon.com, because they have over 300 million active users. So with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this top 5 list of brands that you can sell online to make some major income, as well as why this popular, most sought after brand just doesn't make the cut. Now, fun fact, this first brand is actually the first item that I've ever sold on Amazon, which is Reebok. Now, this is not one of the most popular brands out there, but nonetheless, one of the leading athletic apparel brands on the market. And doing a little bit of research about this brand, there's been a lot of speculation of growth, specifically in the fitness game for Reebok. And in my experience selling on Amazon so far, this brand seems to sell very frequently, which would give you an opportunity to start making sales and turn around some pretty quick profits. And just to give you an example of what I've been seeing out there, I bought this pair of men's Reebok shoes for just under $40, and it's selling right now on Amazon for over $100. So if you've never thought about selling this brand, you might want to check it out. All right, so for this next brand, I have to admit, this is probably my favorite brand to sell, and I could almost only sell this brand exclusively and still make a pretty good amount of money. And that brand is Adidas. Now again, this is another brand that's not the most popular on the market right now, but Adidas is the 4th largest apparel brand in the world with an insane market value. Now this is something that I think is perfect for somebody who's just getting started selling online or somebody who's been selling for years. Even though Adidas might be a little bit less popular, because of the major brand recognition, it could play very well into a seller's favor. I mean, I've been able to find bulk quantities of Adidas products that I could purchase for extremely low prices that sell out on Amazon constantly. And just so you can see what I mean, I made a major purchase of these Adidas biker shorts that I bought for $7.50. I mean, what can you even buy these days for $7? And these shorts right now on Amazon are selling close to 40 bucks a piece. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many pairs of these shorts that I bought, but I bought enough to where I could pocket thousands of dollars if I was to sell out of all of them. So in my opinion, Adidas is hands down a brand that you should look into selling. Now for this next brand, it might be a little bit of a curveball, but I wanted to add it to my list because this is the first brand that I sold where I saw a significant increase in my sales over a short amount of time, and that brand is Skechers. Now there's a lot of good articles out there that you can take a look at, which would suggest that this is a brand that will continue growing when it comes to revenue and market share. I was blown away when I saw that I could purchase these pink toddler light up shoes for $24 and then sell them on Amazon for $53 a piece. I actually bought 10 pairs of these shoes and sold out of them within about a month's time. And since then, I've purchased other similar Skechers products that have repeated that same pattern. So again, just another brand to take a look into if you've not considered it before. Now these next two are a bit less about the brand and more about the category. But that being said, I had to add Playskool on my list of brands to sell online. Now Playskool is owned by Hasbro and is a popular toy company that focuses on educational products for children. But as I mentioned, selling in the toy category itself can be a gold mine for a few different reasons. And one of those reasons being the supply, where a lot of people have access to purchase toys from plenty of different stores. Another reason would be the demand, where year-round toys are being purchased, and especially during the holiday season, they can fly off the shelves. Now, the reason that I use Playskool as an example of selling toys is because I've had a lot of success being able to sell these brands for massive profits. I was able to buy multiple units of this Mr. Potato Head toy for only $3 a piece, and it's selling right now on Amazon for over 70 bucks. I mean, these types of profits are bizarre, but again, when you're looking at selling in the toy category, they are possible. Now, this next one, again, is more of a category than a brand, but I'm kind of hesitant to bring it up because the last time I told somebody about this, they laughed at me. But because I think you're cool, the last one on the list is DVDs. All right, DVDs, okay? DVDs. Now, before y'all click off this video and unsubscribe, just hear me out. People buy DVDs. I don't know who, but there's a group of people out there that buy them. But seriously though, DVDs are something that I think every seller should have in their arsenal, simply because you can get them extremely cheap and there's so much supply that everyone has access to them. For me, there's been times where I could go into a thrift store and pick up a stack of DVDs for pocket change, or head to a garage sale and people are literally giving them away. I mean, check this out. I came across the second season of The West Wing inside of Goodwill and they were selling it for 75 cents. If you look in Amazon right now, this DVD is selling for about $24. I mean, that type of return on a 75-cent investment is a no-brainer. And that's the reason why I had to add DVDs to my list of the top brands that you could be selling online. Now, I'm sure at this point you might be wondering, why wouldn't you go after selling Nike? And the reason is really simple, is because everybody goes after selling Nike. The one common thread amongst the top 5 lists that I gave you is that they're not the most popular brands within their arena. And when you look at Nike, it is arguably the most popular, most recognized brand in the industry. And because of that, that creates an insane amount of competition for sellers who are trying to sell certain Nike products, where there could be dozens or even hundreds of other sellers trying to sell that exact same product. And that competition can result in very slow sales or price drops that make it impossible for you to make money off of those items. Now, to clarify really quickly, do I think that you should sell Nike? 100% absolutely. But I do not believe that it is one of the brands that you should look to start selling immediately. Instead, you should start learning the platform of selling online and how that whole process works before you start going after that major competitive brand. Now, one other important thing that you'll need to know if you consider selling on Amazon is that because they've built up this massive customer base, they want to make sure to protect their customers. So with that, Amazon wants to make sure that sellers are not abusing the platform by selling counterfeit items, which is why they've created a policy called gating. And that essentially requires some sellers to request approval to sell certain brands. Now, if you're to the point where you do feel like you're ready to start selling Nike, I do have a full step-by-step walkthrough that gives you detailed instructions on how you can accomplish this, alongside with brands like Lego, as well as DVDs. And in these guides, I'll show you the brand approval process where Amazon requires its sellers to show proof that they're purchasing items from a reputable establishment. Now, I would be setting you up for failure if I did not warn you about a dangerous behavior that's common throughout the reseller community, and I call this behavior reseller FOMO. I've talked to a lot of sellers in my experience that want to get approved to sell pretty much every brand under the sun for no real reason. And because you have to go through the brand approval process to sell certain brands, you can end up wasting a lot of time if you're not strategic about only going after brands that are profitable. And I wanted to sincerely warn you about this because even I've fallen into reseller FOMO. And if you want to see how much time and money that I wasted, go ahead and click into this video next, where I attempted to get approved in a brand that I had no business trying to sell.